So, Manuel, it's a pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure.
We're going to start the interview, but first of all, I would like to know who is Manuel, what company are you taking care of, and what region, etc.
I'm the CEO of ACS Group Data Centers with especially uh, jurisdiction in EMEA and Latin America. The ACS Group is a Spanish construction company that owns some of the biggest data center construction companies globally in APAC, in the United States, and in Europe. The biggest data center construction companies belong to the ACS Group. And 2 years ago, the ACS Group decided to launch a company that will construct, own, and operate data centers mainly for hyperscaler companies. At that time, I was the general director of the Spanish Data Center Association, and I moved to ACS Group at the beginning of 2025.
That's great. That's great. And thinking about data centers in Spain, we know that Spain is becoming maybe a new hub of data centers for Europe. What is, in your view right now, what is the biggest challenge for the country, taking into consideration this new asset that we are looking for, mainly for the investors or for the new guys that want to enter and have these kind of assets in the portfolio?
It is. It is. Spain traditionally was a relatively small data center market. But as the data center market became more mature and evolved towards a more demanding sector in terms of energy and a more conscious sector in terms of sustainability, the bigger you are, the more important you become for sustainability. Spain became a massive hub. First, because we have lots of renewable energy, and that's very important for the companies that run data centers. Second, because Spain is as a perfect location. It is the closest point to the United States, and it is in the heart of the connection between Latin America, continental Europe, Africa, and North America. And third, since we were underdeveloped, the technology, the industry that rised in Spain is natively sustainable, and that gives us a significant comparative advantage. There is a joke in the industry that says that God uh, built the world in 7 days because he had no legacy. Well, in Spain, we had no legacy, and that has given us a huge opportunity. Also, consider that our competitors, the flap markets, they developed sooner, earlier than us, but they are having lots of difficulties in terms of government, in terms of public opinion, in terms of energy capacity, and that has allowed Spain to surpass them all. We're growing much faster than they are, and we will keep growing much faster than them in the future. Although I think that it is more what we can collaborate between the flat market and Spain, flap D and Spain, than compete. We contribute to each other's development.
And for the investors that are looking right now to this asset, to this market here in Spain, what is the best advice that you could give for them to go ahead with these kind of investments right now?
Yeah, after 5 years, like running the sector from an institutional perspective, the best advice that I could give anyone willing to enter, not the Spanish market, any market, is that you have to gather local knowledge. Energy constraints is not that big. The biggest constraint is the capacity to understand how local things work, how you get the permit, how you get all the paperwork until the day in which you are really in a ready to build stage. It is very difficult. It is very difficult. I would say impossible or almost impossible to just invade or arrive to a new country, either Spain or any other country, and hope that you're going to be competitive without using the local knowledge, local construction companies, local engineering companies, local integrators, local manufacturers, local architects, local lawyers. That is what I have seen. It has been the key element for success in the company that have turned into the leaders in every single European market that I have been like analyzing over the last 5 years.
Great. And what about the challenge, not only the advice? What do you think is the most challenging thing right now for data centers, specifically in Spain?
In Spain, there are two big challenges. One is driving uncertainty. The growth capacity is exciting, is amazing, not only in Spain, but specifically as we discussed in Spain. But there are a lot of question marks. Technology, liquid cooling, standard cooling, density, location, either Madrid or elsewhere, approach to the clients, the client's strategy. Some of the clients are starting to build their own premises. The big players are still, or the traditional players like Digital Realty or Equinix or Global Switch, or here in Naviax in Spain, they are still very strong. New players have to understand, to study, and to be certain on what their position in the industry is going to be, and make sure that it takes time. They have to be patient, and they have to work a lot with clients, and as I said before, with administrations.
Great. And as you see data center globally, what would be the 3 top markets that you would choose today, example, to invest in data centers, thinking about Europe or maybe Latin America, the US? What would be the 3 top markets?
First market is unquestionably the US, but it is extremely competitive. It is very difficult. You have to be very strong and be very lucky as well to gain 0 point something of the market. And that's a lot. That makes things very difficult. But yet, I don't think you can afford, if you want to be global, you cannot afford skipping the United States, even if it is hard. Second, I would say Spain. It's not because I say so. Everywhere you go, there is a pulsion, a tension for coming to Spain. Either you are in APAC in an investment conference, or in Hawaii, or here in the GRI Club, or elsewhere in other meetings of the GRI Club. Virtually everyone is asking recurrently questions. How can I go to Spain? How can I start operations in Spain? And third, I would go to some APAC countries. These countries, they are growing massively, very strong growth. As I said before, ACS Group companies construct data centers in APAC countries, and the level of development, investment, innovation is incredible. So I would go for APAC, the US, and Spain.
That's great. I think that's it from my side. Many thanks.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.